ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
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 ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्ति। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषाशून्यवादिभाष्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरवाणी। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्त। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम राम। हरे कृष्ण। So we'll begin reading from the three stages. This scanned copy, soft copy. Syllabus is there, na? Words. Okay. This is nothing but Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, Rup Siksha. Initially, like Prabhupada, he didn't know because when he went to West, he had so many heart attacks. So he wanted to give quickly Krishna book. Therefore, he first wrote Krishna, the summary study of Bhagavatam, 10th canto Bhagavatam. Similarly, he wrote this book, Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, before writing Chaitanya Charitamrita. Because he had very less time. Therefore, he wanted to give the nectar before. Even if he could not write Chaitanya Charitamrita, he wanted to give this. Even if Bhagavatam could not be completed, he wanted to give 10. This is condensed. But then later on again, he had a marathon of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Talks between Mahaprabhu and Ramananda. After that, Lord attempts to go to Vrindavan, visit to Vrindavan. Rupa Goswami, 19th chapter. This is nothing but Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, 19th chapter. Yes. Devotees can read.
The first stage is beginning stage of cultivation. The second stage is the realization of service. And the third, the supreme stage, is the attainment of love of Godhead. There are 9 different methods of cultivating devotional service, such as hearing, chanting, remembering, etc. And all these processes are employed in the first stage. If one is engaged in chanting and hearing with devotion and faith, his material misgivings gradually become vanquish. As his faith in devotional service gradually increases, he becomes assured of a higher perfectional position. In this way, one can become firmly fixed in devotion, increase his taste for it, become attached, and feel ecstasy. This ecstasy occurred in the preliminary stage of love of Godhead. Attainment of ecstasy is produced by execution of devotional service. When one continues the process of hearing and chanting, attachment grows and assumes the name of love of Godhead.
Yes, very, very important paragraph.
When one attains the third stage of transcendental love of God, there occur further developments.
What are
No,
three stages mentioned here? What is the first stage? Preliminary stage. What is preliminary stage called as? Hmm? That is ninth step. Mother Kadamani. What do Goswami writes? Nectar of devotion. Three stages of bhakti. Madhu Shraddha is there, but from Madhu Shraddha to one point is particular name for it. Yes. Preliminary stage, attainment of ecstasy, and the third stage is transcendental love of God. Nectar of devotion, Rupa Goswami speaks. Preliminary stage is sadhana bhakti. Sadhana bhakti is divided into two parts, Vidhi and Raganuga. विधि अच्छा नहीं लगता उठना सुबह उठना पड़ता है नहीं तो क्या करेंगे गुरुजी बाहर फेंक देंगे दीक्षा नहीं होगा अच्छा नहीं लगता है मैंने हम सोला माला तो करो बेटा विधि we don't like to do but we do because we know it is important. If you don't do that again you have to take birth. We know if you don't do it something may be nectarian in the beginning but that is poison in the end. But this is poison in the beginning it's going to become nectar in the end. So we have faith in Shastras, faith, association of devotees, bhajana kriya, sadhu sangha, bhajana kriya. These four parts comes in sadhana bhakti. That is Vaidhi sadhana bhakti. Then Nishta and the next part that comes under which part? Raganuga bhakti. Till Nishta it comes in Vaidhi sadhana bhakti. Then Nishta, then after that there is Ruchi, Asakti. Asakti Nishta, Asakti Ruchi. Till that time it is in till Asakti it is in Raganuga bhakti. Hare Krishna. It is in Raganuga bhakti. And then Bhav bhakti. That is the second stage. Preliminary stage is till Vaidhi sadhana bhakti. That is Nishta. Then Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti. That is the Raganuga. Then Bhav bhakti is the Bhav bhakti is mentioned there. And then the third stage is Prem bhakti. So three things are mentioned here. Ecstasy occurs in preliminary stage of love of Godhead. Attainment of ecstasy is produced by execution of devotion service. That is Vaidhi sadhana bhakti se Raganuga sadhana bhakti. And then the attachment grows and assumes the name of love of Godhead. It's Bhava Bhakti. Ecstasy is produced in Bhava Bhakti. And this when attains the third stage of transcendental love, that is Prema Bhakti, that is being discussed here. Yes, somebody else can read.
when one attains the third stage of transcendental love of God, there occur further developments known as transcendental affection, emotion, ecstasy, and extreme and intense attachment. These are technically known as the terms raga, anuraga, bhava, and mahabhava. The progress from one stage to another can be compared to the thickening of sugar candy juice. In the first stage, sugar candy juice is like a thin liquid. When by evaporation it becomes thicker and thicker, it turns into molasses. Finally, it turns into granules and becomes sugar, rock candy, and so on. Just as the liquid sugar juice progresses from one stage to another, similarly, transcendental love for the Supreme Lord develops by stages.
When you make a peda, ink is same, but first you have to boil it. First milk, put in sugar and drink. Boil little more. Basundi, some dry fruits. It will boil much, little much more, becomes sabudi. Boil more, then it becomes what? Rava, peda. Same thing. Initial milk, thin. वही साधना भक्ति. जहाँ पे भी डालो ऐसे घूम जाएंगे. Something comes, we go there. Milk is kept and wind comes, milk will blow that side. But the tendency of the basundi, the tendency of the rabdi, the flowing structure is less. The rigidity, it becomes more rigid. But the peda is very rigid. Whatever may come, ups and downs, fair weather, not so good weather, it is steady. So here Prabhupada is writing. Similarly, sugar cane juice, when somebody makes jaggery or sugar, the molasses is heated. The thickening process, it's not so favorable. When heating process is there, we may like to heat milk and because we want to eat. The person is going to enjoy it's very good for him. He's going to relish it. Krishna is going to relish the pure devotion of the devotees when we come to Bhava Prema. But the milk, which is already so at room temperature, you want to heat it. Say, why I have to be heated? क्यों सुबह उठना है 4 बजे? क्यों 10 बजे सोना है? क्यों 4 नियम का पालन करना है? क्यों इतना रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशन? 16 माला जप में नींद आता है, ये आता है, प्रोपात बुक पढ़ना है, क्लास क्यों चाहिए? This is like tap, tapasya. The word tapasya from that comes tap, Brahmadi tap. So then he got the revelation of Krishna's darshan. Similarly, the more and more we do tapasya, when I speaking about tapasya, this is bhakti-mukha tapasya. All of you can sit in a circle, less number, yes, so that I can see all of you. Just spread out. Yeah, sit around, so that I can see your faces. Then it becomes, I like eye contacts. Hmm? So this is a journey from Vaidi sadhana bhakti, Raghavana sadhana bhakti, Bhav bhakti, and Prem bhakti. So intense tapasya, which is bhakti-mukha tapasya. Then the more and more we rise from Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, and then Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhav, Prem. This next paragraph.
When one actually becomes situated on the transcendental platform, he becomes steady. Unless one is so situated, his position may not be steady and he may fall down. When one is actually situated transcendentally, there is no fear of falling down. This stage of understanding is technically called Sthai Bhava. There are even stages beyond this position, and they are known as Vibhava, Anubhava, Sattvika, Vyabhichari. After one attains these, there is actually an exchange of rasa or transcendental activity with the Supreme Lord. This exchange in loving reciprocation between the lover and the beloved is generally called Krishna Bhakti Rasa. It should be noted that the transcendental loving exchanges stand on the steadfast position of Sthai Bhava. As explained before, the basic principle of Vibhava is Sthai Bhava, and all other activities are auxiliary for the development of transcendental love.
This what this paragraph is indicating is little technical part. Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Yoga also. This comes in Bhakti Sarvam. What is being discussed here? Sthai Bhav, Vibhav, Anubhav, Satviki, Vyabhichari. This is somebody who comes in pure love of God. The type of expressions there. There are different modes. For our discussion, just understand there are different levels. In Peda is there, you put some cashew in that. You put some fried badam in that. Somebody may put kesar in that. So all these bhavas are the feelings, emotions the devotee has for Krishna. Like Radharani's emotion for Krishna is different from Rukmi's emotion for Krishna. She's a wife, but Radharani is not a wife. She is a lover. That is the topmost. That comes in Vyabhichari, Satviki, Vibhava, Anubhava. I will not discuss much on this. What a Prabhupada has just told, we'll just continue with this. The ecstasy of somebody else can continue.
The ecstasy of transcendental love has two
What
components.
is Sthai Bhav? Sthai Bhav means fixed, determined. It's beyond Nishta. It's not Anartha होने के बाद आता है. So one doesn't waver. One doesn't waver to sense gratification. It's after that. Basically, somewhere around Asakti, Ruchi, Bhav, Prem. These are all bhavas. This is bhava platform, the second stage, not even the first stage. Yes.
The ecstasy of transcendental love has two components: the contest and the cause of excitement. The contest is also divided into two parts: the subject and the object. The exchange of devotional service is the subject, and Krishna is the object. The transcendental qualities are the cause of excitement. This means that the transcendental qualities of Krishna excite the devotees to serve him. The impersonal Mayavadi philosophers say that the absolute truth has no specific qualities, but the Vaishnava philosophers say that the absolute truth is desired as nirguna, without qualities, because he has no material qualities. This is not to say that he does not have spiritual qualities. Indeed, the Lord's spiritual qualities are so great and so enchanting that they can even attract a liberated person. This is explained in the Atmarama verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, where it is said that those who are already situated on the platform of self-realization are attracted by the transcendental qualities of Krishna. This means that Krishna's qualities are not material but pure and transcendental.
Yes. So ecstasy of transcendental love has two components: context, the cause of excitement. This is like something called Vishay, object and subject, predicament. The object of our worship is Krishna. The subject is devotional service. We are all trying to do bhakti. Predicament. So these are two parts. The context has two parts: subject and object. Object is we want to please Krishna. But to please Krishna, what we need? Bhakti, devotional service. And who does it? The devotee does it. So that is the object. And exchange of devotional service between Krishna and the Lord. Lord and devotees together they serve the Lord. The context is devotees devotional service. That is a part of subject, and object is the Lord. Second thing, the cause of excitement, uddipan in Sanskrit. It is called as uddipan, that which gives us, like when you're sleeping in yoga and you're trying to take rest, somebody comes to the FM or Bhagavatam class, Jai Radha Madhava, and your whole sleep breaks. That is a cause of excitement for your anger. Or you're trying to study and somebody starts coming and starts talking, and tomorrow you have your interview for placement company. You're trying to focus 5 minutes, 10 minutes, they're not finishing one. Or you kept a plate of prasad and somebody is coming late and is saying, oh, nice malpova is there. I want some more malpova, and takes from your plate and takes it, puts it. He doesn't know whose it is. So you become what? Upset, angry. That is a cause of our emotion, material emotion, negative emotion. Similarly, there is a cause for spiritual positive emotions. Like Mukund Sarkar, he's sitting in the assembly of one Nawab Shah, Hussein Shah, or one ruler of Mughal, and then he's seeing that ruler is being fanned by peacock feather. And as soon as he sees that peacock feather, that became the cause of excitement for him to fall down from that elevated seat and trembled and fell down. And that king is asking, what happened to you? He's telling, I have epilepsy. I have a paralysis, something like paralysis, some issue. But this is not paralysis. He could understand that this is something bhava. He has devotion for the Lord because he saw that peacock feather and fell. This is the meaning of uddipan. So at the level of bhava, as soon as person sees some object related to Krishna, he goes into trance. Like when mother says, when all of you grow, come to the centers, or you go to hostel, mother is alone at home. She's trying to clean everything. She opens a cupboard and she sees your 1-year-old socks, 3-year-old chaddi, 10-year-old pant, and she's touching it. अरे मेरा बेटा इतना छोटा था अभी इतना बड़ा हो गया बात करने के लिए भी टाइम देगी. That is the cause of uddipan for you. Understand, na? Same material, what is spiritual is there because material world is a perverted tree. Urdu Muru Mother Shakam. But this tree is reflected on the material desire. So we don't have to become desireless. Like Prabhupada is telling, Mayavadis, they don't accept Sagun feature because they think desire are the cause of problems. But we don't have to give up desires. We have to cure desires. We have to bring those uddipanas from material object to spiritual object. And that is the reason Prabhupada is speaking about the Vaishnava philosophy and Mayavadi philosophy. Mayavadis, they don't want any excitement. They think excitement is material. But only devotees can understand because there is a spiritual world, there is a material world. Whatever emotions, relationship we are feeling here, it's just a reflection of the spiritual world emotions. Therefore, there the cause of excitement is Krishna's love. Here the cause of excitement is our lust. Therefore, even those who are liberated, they get attracted. Mayavadis or impersonalists may go telling that naiti naiti. But when they come across Krishna like Sukdev Goswami, Chitush Kumaras, तस्यारविंद नयनस्य पदारविंद किंजल कमिश्र मकरंद वायु संशोभितम अक्षरश्याम अपिचित्ततनु अक्षर imperson's conception apichitta right from their root it was removed. They were brought from impersonal conception to love of Godhead, Dasiras. That is what Krishna is. He can attract anyone, even Atma Ramasya Manyo, Nirganta Apurikrame. Those are fixed in impersonal conception, self-satisfied. Even they become attracted to Krishna. Example is Sukadeva Goswami. He had nothing to do with the material world. Got up, born, walked without the body, without any clothes. But then he got attracted to hearing Krishna's pastime. Therefore, Krishna qualities are not material, but they are transcendent. So this Uddipana, people may think it to be material. It is not material. It is spiritual. That is what Prabhupada is telling us. Reasons of quoting Mayavadis and Atmanavadis. This next.
The higher stage of ecstasy can be characterized by the following 13 transcendental activities.
So when one comes to the level of Bhava, what kind of emotions he feels step by step? Yes.
First, dancing. Second, rolling on the floor. Third, singing. Fourth, clapping. Fifth, bristling of the hairs of the body. Sixth, thundering. Seven, yawning. Eighth, breathing heavily. Nine, forgetting social conventions. 10, salivating. 11, laughing. 12, aching. Aching. 13, coughing. All these symptoms are not awakened simultaneously. They act according to the exchange of transcendental relationships. Sometimes one symptom is prominent and at another time another is prominent.
Mhm. There are different symptoms. This happens in material world also. When somebody gets a good job, he starts like jumping, clapping, showing such emotions. Wow. But that's material emotions. But this material emotion person can become so active. What is because special emotions? Mahaprabhu, when he used to go in ecstasy, from his ears it will be like syringes of water. His whole body used to become like that bimba, that tree, similar tree. The tree, if you see, it has holes, it has uh, short prickles with kata. Mahaprabhu's body used to become like that. ये जो फ्लैट अपना स्किन है वैसा सूझ के spores we are having the hair pores will become like that tree. That tree it doesn't has a free surface, smooth surface, has protruding surface outside like volcanic eruptions, small, and there is the uh, thorns are there that stand erect. So Mahaprabhu used to go into ecstasy, Ashtava Satvik Vikar. His whole body used to become like that. All the pores of the body will become like that, like volcanic eruption. That is one of the stages of Bhava, what is being mentioned here. So all of them don't appear simultaneously. For some, according to different risas, different emotions, different kind of symptoms manifest here. Yes, next.
The transcendental rasas or relationships can be divided into 5.
Yes, that is what next step coming. This all 5 symptoms doesn't come for all. It is based on 5 rasas.
The initial stage is called Shantarati, wherein one who is liberated from material contamination appreciates the greatness of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One who attains this stage does not exactly engage in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, but this is a neutral stage. In the second stage, which is called Dasyarati, the person appreciates his position as being everlastingly subordinate to the Supreme Lord, and he understands that he is eternally dependent on the causeless mercy of the Supreme Person. At that same time, there is an awakening of natural affection, such as is felt by a son who grows up and begins to appreciate his father's benedictions. At this stage, the living entity wants to serve the Supreme Lord instead of serving Maya's illusion. In the third stage, called Sakhyarati, transcendental love is developed, and one associates with the Supreme on an equal level of love and respect. As this stage is further developed, there is joking and such relaxed exchanges as laughing and so on. On this level, there are fraternal exchanges with the Supreme Person, and one is free from all bondage. At this stage, one practically forgets his inferior position as a living entity, but at the same time, he has the greatest respect for the Supreme Person.
This is very clear, na? Shanta, Dasya, little bit Vatsalya is being explained here, but then Sakya is overlapped with Vatsalya. But Sakya comes. In Sakya, there are two types of Sakya. Dependence on, like in a college, there are two types of people. Somebody is junior, somebody is senior, somebody is equal. So here also in Sakya also there are some junior friends of Krishna, some equal friends of Krishna. There are some senior friends of Krishna. In Sakya there are three things. Somebody is lower than him, so Krishna has a Vatsalya appearance. They see to Krishna as the Vatsalya mode. Somebody they joke, and somebody is higher than Krishna. Like Krishna comes to Yudhishthira Maharaj, he is touching his feet, Bhima's feet. In Sakya, these three features are mentioned here. One should not mistake it to be Vatsalya. In Sakya, Krishna has three kind of relationship: junior, equal, superior. With equal, he jokes. With a junior, he gives Vatsalya kind of affection, like a son feels for the father. But with the superior, he touches their feet. Next is being explained is fourth stage is called Vatsalya. This is working. Mic is working.
It's not mic, this is a recorder.
Record of this goes. Okay. Shanta, there is no activity. You have seen yogi, they're just meditating. They're just in the mode of meditation. The trees are in Shantaras. But they're also giving what Krishna is going and sitting under their shade. They're also trying to serve. But that service, in Dasya, like some covered boys, they're trying to go and serve Krishna, dressing. Mother Teresa is dressing and they're also trying to go and tie his ankles and other things. They're trying to do that with Dasyaras. Like Sudama the florist, when Krishna is entering into Mathura, he personally comes and gives the flower and bows down in awe and reverence. The reverential mood is there. That is the difference. Shantaras, they are situated, Krishna takes their service. They don't give any dynamic service in terms of doing anything. Like grass, trees, fruits, they produce fruits. Talvan, there is tal fruits. They go and eat fruits. Grass, they try to give a bed to Krishna. They are also serving. But that is not that service which the next level of service is done. The type of emotions they undergo is much different than the emotions which is being undergone by a person who is directly interacting with Krishna in the active state. It's a level of consciousness, difference in consciousness. Those who are yogis, they become trees in the spiritual because they are at the level of Paramatma. But you want Dasyaras, you want Sakyaras, you want Vatsalaras, at least you should come to the level of little bit spontaneous devotion service. Those who come to Bhagavan feature of Vishnu, then they come to Dasyaras, Lakshmi Narayan worship. That is Dasyaras. What we are serving Radha Vendra Sundara, this is we are serving in the mode of Aishwarya, that is Dasyaras. Moment Aishwarya comes, Krishna is God, that is Dasyaras. And then in Aishwarya also there is Sakyaras, that is Sarambe Sakya. Lord Ramchandra having with Lakshman, Hanuman, Lakshman, Shatrughan, Bharat, Guha. Their conscious is Lord Ram, that is Sarambe. But Krishna's Sakyaras is Vishramba Sakyaras. They are not conscious he is God. That is, Krishna is God is eager for love. He comes to fight with Jai Vijay. Then he comes and becomes, he accepts mother and father as Aditya and Kashyapa. Then he becomes Lord Ramchandra to experience Sarembe Sakya and conjugal love, but that is not Parakya, Swakya. And then the much more is Parakya and Vishramba Sakya, where they are not aware that he is my friend, he is God, but he is my friend. He is my lover, but he is not God. Similarly, Vasudeva and Devaki, they are in awe and reverence, Vatsalya with awe and reverence. But Yashoda and Nand Maharaj, they are in Vatsalya but without awe and reverence, spontaneous affection. Mother Yashoda can come and twist his ears and try to beat Balaram, telling what you people are doing. But Devaki has seen four-headed form. She is with awe and reverence. There's a difference. Difference of emotions, mood, behavior. Differences of more and more intimacy. Yes, we'll read this paragraph and then we'll end.
In the fourth stage, called Vatsalya Rati, the fraternal affection evinced in the preceding stage develops into paternal affection. At this time, the living entity tries to be the parent of God. Instead of worshipping the Lord, the living entity as a parent of the Supreme becomes an object of worship for the Supreme Person. At this stage, the Lord depends on the mercy of his pure devotee and puts himself under the control of the devotee to be raised. The devotee in this stage attains the position wherein he can embrace the Supreme Lord and even kiss his head. In the fifth stage, called Madhurya, there is an actual transcendental exchange of conjugal love between the lover and the beloved. It is at this stage that Krishna and the damsels of Vraja glanced at one another. For on this platform there is an exchange of loving glances, motions of eyes, pleasant words, attractive smiles, etc.
Yes, all these five rasas, we can draw a line. One in Aishwarya Bhav, fond reverence, another in spontaneous affection. Examples as I quoted, different examples are there. Sita will come in this side, Sita Mata, Radharani will come in this side, Rukmini, and all the 16,108 gopis will come on this side of Maniras. So there also there are a lot of divisions, but basic this is condensed summary. So Prabhupada in Chaitanya Charitamrita there's a lot of elaboration on it. This is just a summary. 8:10. Any questions? 7:30 to 8:10, right?
Speaker was telling that Shukdev Goswami and Janak Maharaj were in Shanta Rasa. Yes. Sorry,
Hmm?
how to understand this thing? Shukdev Goswami and Janak Maharaj were in Shanta Rasa.
You are hearing
I
source.
it's gone only, but I don't remember the speaker. Either his holiness Radha Goswami Maharaj or either I don't remember.
Sukdev Goswami might be in Shantaras before coming to this. There are three things. Artho, Artharthi, Jitnyasu, Jnani. That tradition speaks about. There are four kinds of people. This is also Rasada also there. So Shantaras are the devotees who are Atmaram, self-satisfied. Yogis. Sukdev Goswami was a yogi. Later on when he heard Bhagavatam, he came to different rasa. He's a parrot of Radharani. And who else you told?
Janak Maharaj.
Janak Maharaj might be. He's coming in the Aishwar Leela, Ramayana Leela. He's like a father. It also depends on how they deal with their children. You'll have to see that reference because context and text matters a lot here. Vedas, na? Like Jai Vijay are eternal associates of the Lord. But Prabhupada says Hiranyakashipu will be liberated because Prahlad Maharaj is a Uttam Bhagavad. But there is a question of Vijay being liberated. But text is what, as application, learning point from this thing for our material life is if somebody's son and father is there and father is not a devotee, but son becomes a devotee. Son becomes too fit to be delivering. Similarly, when you bring questions, that lecture, and second thing that context, text and context. Because Prabhupada will speak same thing, he will speak many things based on text and context. Any other questions?
The trees are in Aishwarya Bhav. You're telling the trees and grass, they're in Aishwarya Bhav.
Shantaras.
No, but
Shantaras is also part of the Aishwarya Bhava. How you know there is this hierarchy? Vadanti tattvajas tattvam tadjnanam advayam brahme tadjnanadvayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti shabdati. Based on this realization of Brahman, is only eternal feature. They are in Brahma Jyoti. But the moment they come to the Paramatma feature, they become yogis. What are yogis? Prabhupada writes in Krishna book. They are like, they will become trees in Vrindavan. Or they become trees in Vaikuntha. Then Shantas. Yogis who are meditating Paramatma, they also get liberated. But what kind of liberation they will get? Because that is their Swarupa. They are happy in that mood of becoming trees. Then surely, if they are in Paramatma feature, then Paramatma is an Aishwarya. For Lord Vishnu, it will be an Aishwarya Bhav. Want reverence. Aishwarya Bhav means what? You are aware of supremacy of Lord.
Madhavendra Puri and all, he's also a tree in Goloka. I heard.
But he is not a tree being where in Goloka. He is a tree, but in which place? Text and context are very important.
Golok Vrindavan.
Goloka Vrindavan is tree. He is not in a tree in Vaikuntha Loka. And he is not in a tree where Lord Vishnu or all other Vishnu Dutas are trying to take some fruits from them. Madhavendra Puri is a tree in the Kunja where only Radha and Krishna are doing their amorous pastimes. Nobody is allowed.
So he is not in Aishwarya Bhav.
Yoga in Aishwarya, how could you originate our Madhurya Ras Sampradaya?
But
They found text and context. Just don't go by the tree. Consciousness.
there is in Shantras. But
Yogis are in something because the consciousness of the yogi is like, I'll tell you what, where is the confusion?
what is the difference?
Biology says species, tiger and cat. Externally they appear to be same. But tiger comes, will run away. Cat comes, cat will run away. Correct, na? The tree. Actually, the both are trees. What is the consciousness of the Kalpvriksha in Golok Vrindavan with Radha and Krishna performing amorous pastimes? What is the consciousness of a person who is yogi who becomes a tree in Vaikuntha? The difference of consciousness. So spiritual life is not like black and white. You have to see what it is referring to. So details. You have to go into that particular zone. Where is tree? History, in the most intimate pastimes where not even gopis are allowed. Only manjaris go there to serve. Only Radha and Krishna are there. And he is witnessing those pastimes. He comes as Madhavendra Puri. Good question. Thank you for asking. It becomes clarified. So this theme of always remember, it's not just based on form, it's also the consciousness behind that form. And at the what place, the form, the consciousness, and which place that living being is acting, that decides his rasa. Okay? Good question. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Shri Prabhupada ki, Ekam Charitamrita ki, Rupa Goswami Pada ki, Samaveta Gaur Govinda. Hare Krishna.